We're playing one of the most fun decks in all of Modern, Cheerios, the deck that plays Ceram, Senior Artificer, and Puresteel Paladin, plus a ton of equipment to draw cards and then play a lethal Grape Shot. Let's go check it out. This is Modern Cheerios. This deck is so much fun and it's relatively simple. So the idea is that you want to play 2-mana creatures like this Ram Senior Artificer. Whenever you cast an equipment, you draw a card, or you have its cousin over here, Puresteel Paladin. This one is whenever it enters the battlefield, you draw a card, and then if you have Metalcraft, you can equip for free. So your deck plays tons of equipment, so that way you can just draw your entire library and then play something like a Mox Opal into Retract, which says that you return all artifacts you control to your hand, including the Mox Opal you used to cast it. You then get to replay all of your equipment until you draw into Grape Shot. You play another copy of Mox Opal, and then you cast the Grape Shot for lethal. In fact, I played this deck right after the Mox Opal unbanning. You can find that video in the card above. But in that video, I mentioned how this deck struggles against dedicated blue decks, sort of like the Dimir tempo deck of the format, or Dimir Frogtide, or whatever you would like to call it. But I found a perfect sideboard juke today. We're going to play Kappa Cannoneer, recently printed in Modern Horizons 3. It has Improvise, which means that you can tap your equipment to help cast it. And then it has Ward 4, so it will cost them a ton of mana to even target this creature. Okay, so if this Dimir Murktide deck is playing one answer, and some lists don't even play it, but some lists play one copy of Dismember, they would need 5 mana in order to kill your Kappa Cannoneer. By then, hopefully you would have played enough artifacts to make it grow outside of the range of Dismember anyway. So Kappa Cannoneer, pretty good. On top of that, you can make it unblockable by playing an artifact that turn. So it's tough to kill. You can make it unblockable, and I think that it's perfect because it doesn't get hit by Force of Negation or Spell Snare or anything like that. So really, the only answer they have is Counterspell, and you would like to play that card before they could even play their Counterspell. That's the idea, and I think that this card makes this deck worth playing again. Hopefully you agree. Like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the video today. I will see you in the first round. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicsforum.com/shop, or submitting a donation deck via theepicsforum.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the draw. Our opponent has taken a mulligan. I've opened up creatures, which is the hardest thing to do in this deck, but I only have 1 land. So the question is, are we believers? Am I going to draw land number 2? I think I'm going to keep it. I wish that our land was a fetch land, because then I could search out the one, what is it called? I can think of this. Meticulous Archive. There we go. I thought of it without looking it up. The opponent now takes a mulligan all the way down to 4. I have no idea what they're playing, but if I lose to a mulligan to 4 because I kept a 1-lander, I'm going to feel a little sad. Hers is mine. Well, this is certainly a deck that can win on a mulligan to 4. Mox Opal. Okay, so I can actually play a turn 1 creature here because I drew the Mox Opal. And then I can retract them back at some point. Let's play the Puresteel Paladin. And now I can equip for free, making it a little tougher to kill. Pass the turn. They have another land, but it's not the other Tron piece. So they had 2 of the same Tron piece. We draw a equipment, we'll play it. Auto yield to the trigger. And another. We drew a land, okay. So I will now fetch. We'll grab Hallowed Fountain. Ouch. We'll play the SRAM Senior Artificer. And now we'll play Retract. So I will return the 5 artifacts to my hand. And now we get to party. So each artifact will draw 2. Well, each equipment will draw 2, I should say. My Tron opponent is now realizing that they've lost. Okay. So at this point, we just have to draw until we hit Grape Shot plus another Mox Opal. They search out Urza's Power Plant. We hit the other Mox Opal. So now it's just finding Grape Shot. We'll play another equipment. Bone Saw. I don't know about you, but I was a young child when the first Spider-Man movie came out, and I loved that Macho Man Randy Savage was in it. So I have a soft spot in my heart for Bonesaw. We'll play the Mantle. A little bit of a lag. I just started Magic Online, so that's a little disappointing. But the Paradise Mantle, because I can equip it for free, actually gives us an extra mana as well. Magic Online is really struggling right now. It's just like not letting me cast Mox Opal. There we go. It only took like 15 clicks. We'll play the Shield. We had a Noxious Revival. Storm is 13. From 15. We'll play another Bonesaw. Shield. Just trying to draw to the Grape Shot. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I just have to play a few more spells now. We'll play the Mox Opal. Play another Shield. And Grape Shot you. Storm is 20. Alright, so turn 2 win when I kept a sketchy 7. It was worth it the whole time. We're facing Tron. Would I like to sideboard? I don't think so. Like, they might have Kozilek's Command, but I don't think it's worth bringing Impact of Negation for that. I don't know if they have anything worth using into the Floodmaw for. So I think I'm going to resubmit and just try to keep my deck lean. Let's do what we do and not dilute it. Game number 2, we're on the draw. I've opened up no creatures. 4 lands. I think that this is a mulligan. They've also taken a mulligan. This is a keep. We'll bottom 1 copy of Mox Opal. Goodbye, Mox Opal. So what this hand needs are more equipment, and our deck has, like, I think that the number is 24. So we should have 23 more equipment to draw. They have a turn 1 Urza's Tower in the map. Okay. That is an equipment. I'm going to just pass the turn. So I can go for a turn 2 win. The fear is if they have Dismember. We'll fetch. Grab the Meticulous Archive. Keep the equipment. Let's play Puresteel Paladin. Play the Shield. Triggers. Say yes. And now we just want to chain a bunch of equipment together. Because I already have Retract. I already have the Mox Opal. We'll equip for 0. Play the equipment. Equip for 0. So this would get it out of Dismember range. We'll play Paradise Mantle. Another Puresteel. So now we'll play the Mox Opal. And we'll play Retract. So this gives me 5 more draws. Storm 9. There's the Grape Shot. Okay, so now if we find another Mox Opal, we likely have it. From 11. Play Paradise Mantle. They're just going to go grab their land. Ooh, we're running a little thin here. Oh no, we're down to our final draw. So it pretty much needs to be a Retract at this point. Not even Noxious Revival would do it. We'll play the Paradise Mantle. I hit the Mox Opal, so what does that mean? I can Grape Shot for 17, which is just short. We'll equip, equip, equip. Okay, so I think we ended up just being short. We'll play Mox Opal. Tap for a red, play another Mox Opal, and we have to Grape Shot for 17. Pass the turn. So they now get to play their land. Kozilek's Command. So this will kill my Knight, or my Paladin, I should say. And now they have Trinisphere. Okay. I mean, I think we could still win this. And there's the Noxious Revival. Play my land. Play Puresteel Paladin. And we'll equip again. Pass the turn. They're at 3. There is a world in which I get in 1 hit with Puresteel Paladin, and then Noxious Revival for Grape Shot could do it. Otawara. Okay. And now they play Stock Up. So they're Bluetron. They're likely looking for another Kozilek's Command. In my upkeep, let's put Grape Shot on top of our deck. Actually, do I want to do that? I don't think I do, because that double blows me out against Kozilek's Command, and I don't want to do that. So we'll just go to combat and swing for 2. Putting them to 1 here is just good enough. I'll play my land, and now I can pass. And then I can just put Grape Shot on top of the deck. 5 mana. And there's the Kozilek's Command. I'm so glad I didn't do it. Now we'll put Grape Shot on top of the deck. Okay. I suppose I could have tapped the Puresteel Paladin, but I don't think it actually matters. Okay, so next turn I can play the SRAM Senior Artificer into Grape Shot. Okay, so that hits my Mox Opal. I have a Sacred Foundry I can fetch for. It's funny, when I was doing the deck tech, I almost mentioned how Sacred Foundry never comes up. And here we are. Sacred Foundry is literally going to win this match right now. Storm 1, Grape Shot. Sweet. All right, well, that was more interactive than I would have hoped for, but it was a sweet one. We're 1-0 to start off this Modern League. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. For round number 2, we're on the draw. I will keep. So this could be a potential turn 2 win. I would have to draw into more equipment, but also the Retract. They have turn 1 Mishra's Bauble, Spire of Industry. Is this like Lantern Control? Cameo Inquisitive Student. I'm not really sure what we're facing right now. So there's another equipment. That's good. We'll just play the Arid Mesa and pass, and then on the end step, grab Meticulous Archive. They use Mishra's Bauble. I wonder what they'll see here. I won't know because I'm not going to get to look. There's a Saga. I have no idea what they're playing. Is this like Jeskai Ascendancy? They attack with the Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. They have 4 cards in their hand. We'll grab Meticulous Archive. Get rid of the land. We don't need land number 4. Retract. Okay, let's try for a turn 2 win. Play the Puresteel Paladin. Play Shield. Looks like it resolved. We'll play another shield. Play the Spider Silk Net. I'll now equip, and equip. So part of the reason I chose to play this deck today is when you look at the modern metagame, a lot of the top of the format is sort of like 2 ships passing in the night. Like Boros Energy and the Dimir Murktide deck, or whatever you would like to call it, Frogtide. Those 2 decks are incredibly interactive. That said, I feel like a lot of the format is just non-interactive decks, and I thought that this deck would be pretty good against that. We'll play Retract. Storm is 10. Okay, so at this point, I'm really just looking for another Mox Opal from 15. All right, no Mox Opal yet. So my creature doesn't have haste. So if you're saying, Bryant, just equip the Paradise Mantle, I can. It's just it won't be able to tap for mana. All right, Storm is now 22, and there's a Mox Opal. So I'll play the Mox Opal, and let's Grape Shot for 24. Boom. Took roughly about 2 minutes this entire game. It's crazy. And we win game number 1. I think they're a combo deck, so I don't want a sideboard. I'm just going to run it back. Why would you even want a sideboard? Like, it could be 15 basic islands in there. What do you even use that for? Kappa Cannoneer? I wasted so much time in the deck tech knowing that I'm clearly never going to sideboard it in. That's a joke. I hope I do. But I think for the most part, in the last 2 matches, including this one, obviously, they're just not matchups you're supposed to sideboard for. If it turns out that they're not on Jeskai Ascendancy, I could bring in Pact of Negation or Into the Floodmaw. But Kappa Cannoneer is really for heavily interactive matchups like that Dimir Frogtide matchup. I don't know if I like it against Energy. Against Energy, I'm probably just interested in Pact of Negation, maybe Into the Floodmaw. But we'll figure that out when the time comes. Alright, I think that this hand is a keep. It only has the 1 land. The Grape Shot is like a mulligan. That said, as a 6-card hand, this hand is very good, so you might as well keep it as a 7. We just have to find land number 2. I think our opponent accidentally skipped their turn. We'll play Flooded Strand and pass. Alright, so they play a bridge. We're going to search out the Meticulous Archive and hopefully hit a land. That is not a land. It goes to the graveyard. That's not a land either. Okay, so I'm going to discard one of the creatures. We really need all of our equipment, so I don't want to discard that. They play land number 2. Alright, well, it looks like we've lost this game, and they're not Jeskai Ascendancy, they're Affinity. And now I draw the land at turn 2 late. We'll play the Puresteel Paladin. Pass the turn. I guess I have 1 Urkel's Recall in the deck. That's what we're drawing towards. They play a Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. We'll play another Puresteel Paladin because this will help me draw towards the Hurkyl's Recall. And now we'll play a Bone Saw. We'll draw 2. And we have to pass the turn. No point in attacking. I don't have Metalcraft, so I cannot equip for free. They have Portable Hole. So this will eat one of my Puresteel Paladins. Finding that Hurkyl's Recall more important than ever now because Portable Hole is an artifact as well. We find land number 4. This can grab the Sacred Foundry, so that way maybe at some point I can cast this Grape Shot. We'll play a Shield. Consign to Memory. Interesting. We'll play another. We find another land. We'll play another Shield. Let's equip the Bone Saw. Or actually, I can equip the Bone Saw for free. And now we'll swing. They take 3 down to 15 and we'll pass. Mox Opal, so now they have 3 mana. Another Damping Sphere. So that's fine with me. The one Hurkyl's Recall is really what we're looking for here. They attack. Do I have the one with Reach? One of these provides... There's an equipment in the deck that provides Reach. Apparently I don't have that one. Another Paladin. Let's fetch with the Arid Mesa. We'll grab a basic. Play the Puresteel Paladin. And now I can play a Shield. And this will draw 2. Just trying to find that Hurkyl's Recall. Boom! We hit it. We'll equip this to the Puresteel Paladin. So I think we're going to win on my turn. Swing. Glass Casket. Another artifact that gets returned by Hurkyl's Recall. Okay. Let's see if I'm allowed to party. Hurkyl's Recall, target you. This looks like they have some sort of counterspell here. Maybe Metallic Rebuke? Okay, we'll have to pay for the Metallic Rebuke. And now we'll get 2 copies of Puresteel Paladin back. Sweet. Storm is 2. Play our land for the turn. We'll fetch. Grab a Plains. Play Paradise Mantle. Play the Mox Opal. I already have enough mana here to Grape Shot them. So we just have to keep on casting spells. Play another Paradise Mantle. We'll play Mox Opal. Tap for a blue. We'll play another Mox Opal. Storm 9. We'll equip the Paradise Mantle to the one that can tap for mana. We'll play another Shield. The opponent says GG's and that they like the Eternal Glory podcast. You'll love to hear it. And they concede. So we're now 2-0 with Cheerios, beating 2 interactive draws. How about that? The Hurkyl's Recall saving the day. Let's try to get the next 3. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. For round number 3, we're on the play. Let's go. So no creature. We have Meticulous Archive. I think you're supposed to mulligan. No creature again. We'll go to 5. Keep this. We'll bottom Hurkyl's Recall, and the second one is pretty difficult. I think it's supposed to be the other return effect. We don't know what our opponent's playing, but also having 2 creatures will help win because I don't think I have enough resources to win. So I think I'm going to have to wait till turn 3 and then play my 1 artifact. And it looks like they're on the Dimir Frogtide deck. So this is just not a great looking game for me here. We'll play Meticulous Archive. Get rid of the land. Another creature, okay. So we'll fetch. Grab Hallowed Fountain. And we'll play the SRAM Senior Artificer. It resolves. We'll pass. They fetch with Polluted Delta for a Watery Grave. Fatal Push. They play Polluted Delta, 5 cards in hand. So it looks like we're going to get to use the Kappa Cannoneers this round. And now they play Psychic Frog, 4 cards left. Let's play Puresteel Paladin. I think I'm supposed to try to do something here. They're tapped out. I don't know if it's going to get better, so we just have to hope to chain a bunch of equipment into Retract plus land. So there's the land. Now we need a bunch of equipment into Retract. Firm is 4. Okay. You're saying there's a chance. Let's see Retract. Yes, let's go! Let's go! Play the Retract. It resolves. So now we have 5 draws here. There's a land. We don't need that anymore. Alright, so a Mox Opal and a Noxious Revival or another Retract. So now we just need a Mox Opal here. Oracle's Recall. This is our last draw. Okay, we bricked, but hopefully we can try to win next turn. We will pass. They play Preordain. 2 cards on the bottom. Thoughtseize. So we have 2 return effects, which is good. They take the Retract. They go to 14. It looks like I don't have the equipment that provides a reach. They give their frog flying, and now they swing. They play Undercity Sewers, so I don't have to worry about Spell Snare this turn. They get rid of Orcish Bowmasters. And there's a Mox Opal. We needed that a turn ago. We'll grab the basic. We'll play Saram Senior Artificer. Play the Mox Opal. Tap for blue. And now I will Oracle's Recall targeting myself. And now each equipment will draw 2, and I believe that we've won. Another Retract. 34 cards in deck here. Another Mox Opal. And the Bone Saw. Love Bone Saw. Alright. Just casting equipment. I can't believe we're getting this game after I mulled the 5. Firm is now 11. We'll tap for red. Play another Mox Opal. We'll tap this one for blue. I don't even know if I've drawn the Grape Shot yet. I have not. Okay. Just trying to draw into Grape Shot here. 2 more copies of Bone Saw. Noxious Revival. We'll play Mox Opal because I can. Keep the new one. Play more equipment. Storm 19. 12 cards left in deck. So I can Noxious Revival if my Grape Shot is the bottom card. And there it is. So I drew the Grape Shot. We'll target them. Sweet. Hey, we have not dropped a game yet. That's kind of impressive. And now we get to try the sweet sideboard plan. Okay. I definitely want Kappa Cannoneer. I think that you could probably sideboard out the Oracle's Recall. Probably the 2 Noxious Revivals, because we're boarding in this alternate win condition of the Kappa Cannoneer. And now we have 1 more cut to make. I think it's just like one of the artifacts, maybe. I only have... Am I counting this right? We have 28 equipment. Oh no, I'm counting the Mox Opal, so it is 24. My bad. So it's 24 equipment. I guess we're going to go down to 23. You could bring in Pact of Negation too, but I think I just want to be on the Kappa Cannoneer plan. The perfect hand would be like 1 untapped blue land, 5 equipment, and Kappa Cannoneer. I think we keep this. Keep. They have Marsh Flats, Watery Grave, Thoughtseize. No! No, not like this. Not like this. Just rude. They take one of the creatures. Interesting. So they're not worried about Kappa Cannoneer. We draw Retract. We'll have to pass. Polluted Delta. We will fetch. Grab the Meticulous Archive. Get rid of the equipment just because we're trying to find land number 2 here. Retract is not what I needed. We'll pass. They grab Undercity Sewers. Gets rid of Preordain. Land number 3. They have 5 cards now. And they cast Preordain. 2 cards on the bottom. Ay, ay, ay. We'll play out a equipment. Pass the turn. They fetch with Polluted Delta. Undercity Sewers, so they have 2 of them. Land number 4. And Psychic Frog. They're holding open Counterspell this entire game. So they have at least 1 of those. Alright, I just failed to hit on everything this game, so we're just going to go to the next one. Let's try it again. Run it back. On the play. So I'm 1 short of Kappa Cannoneer, I think. They kept 7. So I can play the 2 artifacts. No, this is only 4, so I'd have to have another artifact. We'll play the Flooded Strand and pass. I need no turn 1 Thoughtseize. Flooded Strand. We'll fetch, and I'd like to surveil into an equipment here. Meticulous Archive. There we go. I think that does it. We'll play the Mox Opal, the Shield, Bone Saw, Bone Saw. They're thinking on this Bone Saw. They might have figured out what I'm doing. They force a negation. Okay. So I am just short of playing the Kappa Cannoneer and I have to pass. So now they'll have Counterspell open next turn. They get rid of Fatal Push. And apparently they drew Thoughtseize. So Force of Negation on the Bonesaw worked. And now they have Undercity Sewers. We ripped another Cannoneer, but I can't play it. I have to pass. Land number 3. 4 cards in their hand. Let's play the Saram Senior Artificer. That resolved. And I think I'm going to just pass the turn. Because if they got rid of a Fatal Push, I think they have another. They fetch with the Scalding Tarn for a Watery Grave. 4 cards in their hand. Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. They play land number 4, 3 cards in their hand. Murktide Regent. So I might have lost this. They sniffed out the Bonesaw play, and I think that was the difference in this game. Another Thoughtseize. You're killing me here. We'll play Retract. One of the few ways I can win this is if I'd have to Grape Shot their board, because I don't think I have enough life to beat... Maybe I do have enough life to beat the Bowmasters, but then they could just ping the Saram. We'll play the Shield. Let's see where they point. They pointed at the Saram. Okay. And I can't equip it, so it looks like the Saram's just going to die here. Ah, this match fell away from me. We were so close. Yeah, they got me. Okay, so sometimes you have the tech and it just doesn't work, apparently. So we're 2-1 now. It's a bummer we lost with the Kappa Cannoneers. I'd be interested in your feedback if you think they're worth it or not. Let's see how we do in match number 4. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. For round number 4, we're on the draw. Our opponent is taking a mulligan. I have the creature, I have lands. What we need is more equipment. They mulligan to 5. They have a Windswept Heath. A 3rd creature off the top rope. Okay. Windswept Heath finds Meticulous Archive. And they kept the card. Not sure what they're playing. Ah, it's Neoform. Okay. There are newer builds of Neoform that play, what is it called? Birthing Ritual. They're less of an all-in combo deck, and they're more of a combo deck where you just win over multiple turns because there's no Nourishing Shoal or anything like that. So we'll fetch. So the question is, am I supposed to try to win off of 1 or 2 equipment? We'll get rid of the land. We did not draw an equipment, so I think I just have to play Puresteel Paladin and pass. We'll go to 16. Play the Paladin. I have to hope that I'm not dead. They swing, we'll go to 8. There is 1 copy of Bird Marigmos in the deck, where you can discard lands and deal 3 damage, so that would kill me here. They draw 7. They can still draw 7 more here. Land number 3. Eldritch Evolution. So this can get the Bird Marigmos. They don't. Instead, they're going to kill the Puresteel Paladin. Sure. So in theory, if I draw an equipment, we could try to win. But my deck with 24 of them, we've only drawn 1 so far. Alright, well, I think it's probably now or never, so we'll have to make do. Grab the basic planes, we'll play another Puresteel Paladin, play the Shield. So I have to hit a number of equipment in a row, and then Mox Opal so I can play this Hurkyl's Recall. Or I have to draw Retract. Uh-oh, down to our final draw here. And I bricked. Ah, bummer. Okay. Our deck did not get to work this game. I don't think we sideboard. Once again, this is a Ships Passing in the Night matchup. You don't sideboard for those, so we'll just hope to do better in game number 2. On the play. Nope, can't keep that. This, I think, is a keep. We'll put back the Hallowed Fountain. Play Meticulous Archive. We'll get rid of the creature. I just need more equipment at this point. Misty Rainforest. And there's a shield. Grab the plains. I'll play the Saram. I feel like it's kind of free to try to win here because even if I fizzle, I can try again next turn. Fetches with Misty Rainforest in response. Meticulous Archive. We drew another Retract, so I need equipment. Or I could have 3 Retracts. We'll pass the turn. The deck not wanting to draw equipment even though I have 24 of them. This feels like the Cycle Storm problem. where I feel like I play 24 creatures in that deck and I often don't draw them. They have Beseiju who endures. Our opponent plays Allosaurus Rider, and now it looks like Neoform. So 2 games in a row, they've opened up on Rider plus Neoform, which is good for them. Let's see what they select here. Galta, okay. Atraxa and Terastodon. That is very good. Yeah, and they're going to blow up my equipment. So I will get 3 elephants, but that doesn't seem very good here for me. So if I want to win this, I now need to draw a string of equipment off the top of the deck. Okay. That doesn't really help me here. I think we're dead. But my draws were just not good. We'll play Retract. And Noxious Revival back the Bone Saw. So the only way I win this is if I hit Mox Opal at the end of a chain of bones, or at the end of a chain of equipment. That's the only way we stand a chance. Nope. So it did not work out in our favor. Bummer. Losses happen. We're now 2-2. Want early access to articles at theepicstorm.com? Become a member of our Patreon to get articles 7 days early, on top of other sweet benefits, and help us pay our website team. You can sign up at patreon.com/theepicstorm. The final round of this Modern League. Let's go. Would like to finish with a positive record. We have a good opening hand. Let's try it. A little bit bummed that we didn't get to really show off Kappa Cannoneer and its potential in round number 3. Round 4, I feel like I was kind of just outdrawn, and that happens. But now we're going to try to get match number 5. Wooded Foothills, so probably not a Kappa Cannoneer matchup. Is it? Okay, so maybe it is. Or it could also just be Prowess. If it's Prowess, I don't want the Kappa Cannoneers. They just won't be fast enough. I think I'm actually going to not fetch here. And then we'll go off on turn 3. Hopefully they tap out for the Quarry Steel Cutter on turn 2. And then I have, you know, a mana available already for Retract or Hurkyl's Recall. That's the goal. And it looks like I'm getting my wish. So if I had tapped out on turn 2 for the Puresteel Paladin, the issue with that play is what if they have Lightning Bolt? And now my hand does nothing. So we'll take 2. I will fetch. We'll grab Meticulous Archive. Get rid of the land. And now they're going to use the Mishra's Bauble. Draw another equipment. So this seems like a good spot for us to try to win. Play the Puresteel Paladin. Play Shield. Triggers, always yes. Noxious Revival. Not good at the moment. Could be later. Okay. Just need to hit a Retract. No such luck. So I will equip. Trying to make my creature large enough here where it doesn't die to removal. Pass the turn. We have a 2/10 in play. They play Expressive Iteration. They reveal Monastery Swiftspear, but they're not going to play it. And then they pass the turn. We drew another... Actually, I should fetch and thin here. It probably doesn't make a difference, but I'd like to make sure that I don't lose to something silly. So we'll play our equipment now. Another Shield. Bone Saw. And another Bone Saw. And a third Bone Saw. And another Mox Opal. So we fizzled once again. Unfortunate, but I do get an even larger creature here. A 5/16. We'll go to combat. Swing. We'll take 5 down to 11. We'll pass the turn. A Slickshot Show Off. Okay. So that could be a problem. I do have the equipment that provides reach, though. They're going to swing out. I'll block the Show Off. Mutagenic Growth. So they have 8 damage coming in at the moment. Another Mutagenic Growth. I could be dead. Oh my. I am dead. We did not draw into what we needed. Bummer. Okay. So I could bring in Into the Flood Maw to try to bounce their creatures, but I don't even know if that's good. Honestly, I think you're supposed to just resubmit. A lot of these decks play like a couple copies of Spell Pierce in the sideboard, and that's it. So we're just going to try to not fizzle and then see if we can get the job done. All right, game number 2 of match 5. So this hand is good, assuming I find another land. I'll keep. Could be a little risky. We have the Surveil land. Player and Mesa pass the turn. They have Steam Vents. and Channeler. I will fetch, grab the archive, not a land, that goes to the graveyard. Bummer, pass the turn. They have land number 2, another Dragon's Rage Channeler, Mishra's Bauble. They use the Bauble, and now they attack for 1. We found Mox Opal, so I could try to play a Paladin here. If they have Lightning Bolt, it's going to hurt. And sign a memory on my Mox Opal. Okay. Now they attack for 6. I'll go to 12. I suppose maybe I was supposed to lead on the Mox Opal instead of the equipment. And we're not going to draw land. Lava Dart. They got rid of an Unholy Heat, so that means that they already have creature removal in hand. So this is 6 damage, puts me to 5, and I didn't draw the land. That was a depressing closing out of the league. We started so hot, and then things just fell apart. So I don't know what to think. The last time I played this deck, I ran the same main deck 60, and I ran a slightly different sideboard. We had 2 Orms Chant and 2 Gut Shot instead of the Kappa Cannoneers. And then 1 more Leyline of Sanctity over 1 into the Flood Moss. So the sideboard's the only thing that changed. But in this league, it felt like the deck just crumbled. So I don't know what to think. If you have any thoughts other than the fact that I kept a few 1-landers that didn't work, I get it. But this is a 16-land deck where every mulligan means you're less likely to win. So I do think you're supposed to keep some sketchy hands. I could be interested in potentially playing a second Meticulous Archive. I think that is a reasonable thing to do. But that would be about it for the main deck. So I'm sorry I didn't perform better. Sometimes you have bad leagues. I really do appreciate you watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Keep storming. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. After you do that, open up our description where you can find all of our social media networks, including our Discord, where you can discuss today's deck in that Discord with me and tons of other combo masterminds. It's absolutely free to join, and it's certainly worth your while.